Your boss turns to you in a crowded meeting and asks a question you definitely weren't prepared for. Instantly, your chest tightens, your mind goes completely blank, and panic takes over. We tend to think that firing back an answer in half a millisecond makes us look smart. We assume speed equals competence. But when you try to generate a complex thought in 1 second, you don't sound like a genius. You end up winging it, rambling, and speaking your disorganized thought process out loud. It actually looks like you didn't put any care into the response. To stop going blank on the spot, you need a system to process the incoming information. There is a precise 3-step method to filter the chaos in your head before you open your mouth. Handling a high-pressure question doesn't require you to instantly know everything. It requires you to deliberately control the pace of the conversation. The first step is the simplest, but the hardest to execute. You pause and you take a deep breath. The mental block you experience is a physiological reaction to anxiety. Giving yourself 2 or 3 full seconds of silence calms your nervous system down. It stops the panic and creates the clarity you need to actually find the right words. But how you physically hold that silence matters. If you slouch, look at the floor, and fidget with your hands, that's a negative pause. You look anxious and caught off guard. Instead, keep your head up, look slightly to the side, and bring your hand up in a thinker pose. When people see this composed body language, they don't think you're hesitating. They see someone carefully processing what was just said and considering the best possible reply. By holding your ground in silence, you buy your brain vital recovery time while actually raising your perceived authority in the room. Once he's paused, your brain is going to flood you with 50 different ways you could answer the question. It's a chaotic mess of data. Step 2, apply a framework. This forces all those racing thoughts through a mental filter. One effective structure is the one thing framework. Instead of listing every variable, you force yourself to identify a single foundational principle. You say, the one thing I would focus on here is consistency, and then you explain why. Committing to a single path keeps you from jumping between disjointed ideas and talking in circles. You don't have to explain the entire subject. A framework acts as a pressure release, turning your internal overwhelm into a clear, concise, and credible external statement. The third and final step happens the moment you finish delivering your core idea. You hand the microphone back by asking a question. Specifically, you check in with the person who put you on the spot. You ask, did you want me to go deeper on that topic? Should we get more granular with the strategy? This stops you from rambling indefinitely to fill the silence. It lets the other person dictate exactly how much detail they actually need from you. Ending on a question flips the script. You are no longer defending yourself in an interrogation. You are leading a collaborative exchange. So the next time you get caught off guard, pause to collect yourself, frame your thoughts to focus them, and ask for direction to close. But what happens if you take your 3-second pause and the answer simply isn't there? Be straightforward. Tell them you want to give a thoughtful, comprehensive response, and ask if it's okay to schedule a time later that afternoon to share your findings. People do not want a rushed, off-the-cuff guess. They want an answer that actually adds value to their work, and they are almost always willing to wait a few hours to get it. The panic of the moment comes from a false sense of urgency. When you break the illusion that you have to speak immediately, you take control of the room.